So next we have Nick Airriess here from Blizzard Lighting. And Nick, one of the things that a lot of folks really like to get into is the whole concept of illuminating the reception room. And the area I wanted to talk about a little bit today is illuminating the head table, because I've had to do that a couple of times this past season. And I have struggled with that. And a lot of it is color temperature. We've talked about this on some of our past shows.
Sure.
Is trying to get it so that, you know, the bride, generally white dress makes it really difficult, and then, you know, and many times that she's a light color, light complexion, because we're that Northern European.
You've also got florist centerpieces that you want the flowers to pop. You don't want them to be like, you know, you set up these beautiful flowers you picked out in the store, and then you use this really, really cool color temperature, and it makes them look just falling apart or something. It's
exactly. So
the Disc Jockey News Virtual Expo is sponsored by DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool. For more information, stop by djeventplanner.com. Top Hits USA, hit music service for radio and professional DJs. For more information, stop by tophitsusa.com. Epsilon Professional Lighting and Sound, an experienced and innovative manufacturer of lighting and sound equipment. For more information, stop by epsilon-pro.com. Promo Only, the industry's #1 source for music and music videos. For more information, stop by promoonly.com. By Omez Professional Lighting, new color, new vision, new Omez. For more information, stop by omezlighting.com. By Prime Cuts, the #1 service for music for mobile DJs. For more information, stop by Prime Cuts Music. Sponsored by Chauvet DJ, Value, Innovation, Performance. For more information, stop by chauvetlighting.com. Sponsored by Projectogram, high-quality designs for monograms, logos, and other image projections. For more information, stop by projectogram.com. ADJ, Pure Lighting Excitement. For more information, stop by adj.com.
So what are some tips for the guys who are out there doing that? You know, this isn't our full-time thing, meaning that, you know, there's lighting guys like yourself who do this, but what are some of the things that maybe can give them some ideas to be a little more successful?
So one of the big things that there's two factors in at least head table lighting that you want to think about. One is framing. You want to be able to control where the light is going, because you don't want to have a whole bunch of bleed over on other sides or hitting a back display or anything like that. You want to have it where you want it. So what I recommend in this situation is a framing spot, some type of a ellipsoidal that has some framing shutters that can go in there and actually cut off the light for where it's going to go. So then you can make a nice like long line across the front of the table. I've seen some people put the gobo in the front, the actual, like, you know, the bride and groom's monogram on the table in the front, and then you also have to kind of square off the table and light it up so you can see what they're looking at. You may have to hit centerpieces on the table, any of those things, and so those framing shutters will allow you to control where the light actually goes. There's some really big ones out there that do this. There's some small ones out there that do this. There's some really tiny ones even that are fairly affordable that do a great job of that. The second thing you want to think about when it comes to front lighting is color temperature. You've got your cool color temperature, which is almost like a blue, and it'll cause a lot of your floral centerpieces to not be as like rich colored, and then you've got your warm color temperatures, which will duplicate more like a tungsten or like a sunlight. This actually comes from the original ETC Source 4s, the ellipsoidals. Those are using a tungsten color, like a lamp in there, and that causes that color to be made. Now granted, you can put a gel in front of it and change it to any color you want, like a CTO that converts to orange, or a CTB that converts to blue. And so that'll take, a CTO will take a cooler temperature light, like an LED, and warm it up so that it makes those colors pop more. It does tear down the efficiency a little bit, but not quite as much.
What do you mean by tear down the efficiency?
So if you think about it, let's say it's 1,000 lux, like the output of the light is 1,000 lux at 2 meters, let's just say. Although let's just say 5 meters, that's more realistic in an actual environment. If you're 5 meters away, and let's say it's 1,000 lux at this point on the table, if you put a CTO in over a cool white LED, you're going to lose probably about 15 to 20% of the efficiency of the LED, the actual brightness. So you're only going to get about maybe 80 or 800 lux at that same point, but you're going to get a much better color, so it's okay. It's worth it. It's just you kind of have to balance it. Now, if you're going the other direction, you use a lot more. So if you go from a warm to a cool, you're actually going to lose probably about 30%, maybe a little bit more, just because to convert from a warm temperature to a cool temperature is a lot more difficult. So why would you want a warm or a cool temperature? Flower colors. That's the big thing. You did the dress colors. Let's say you've got the bridesmaid dresses. You got them stacked up. They go to incredible lengths to make sure those colors are perfect.
Right.
And so you want to show them. You want to make sure they look right in pictures. And I know a lot of photographers also that'll come and talk to the lighting guy about lighting the head table ahead of time to make sure that they know that they're going to be the right color. Granted, most photographers and videographers can color adjust, but if you've got a really cool white situation over here, and then they've just come from a photo shoot outside, they're going to have to readjust all their cameras and everything. Whereas if you go for more of a warmer color temperature, that maybe not be such an issue. Now barns and things like that are huge in weddings. They're the outdoor look, so warmer color temperatures are actually a lot more popular now. The tungsten fake LED light bulbs and stuff like that are really popular at the moment. So one thing that you have to think about, at least when it comes to picking an ellipsoidal or like a framing spot that you are going to set up, is something called CRI. CRI is actually color rendering index, and that's actually a percentage of how close it gets to actual sunlight. Sunlight is the perfect thing. It puts out a huge spectrum of light. It covers every single spectrum. It gets the reds, the blues, the greens, the infrareds. It gets everything. When you're looking at an actual LED fixture, and that's color or like single color, like a warm white or a tungsten or whatever, you get that CRI number, and that'll tell you how well it duplicates what the sun actually puts out, which is pretty cool. Obviously you want to have it as high as possible. 95, 91 is pretty common in the higher end ellipsoidals. So that's something you want to look for when you're looking at your actual lights and you want to purchase them. You want to look at something that has a high CRI. That way when you're hitting a dress or hitting a floral centerpiece, the colors will be perfect. They'll be the way that the bride and groom imagine them. So if you used a very cool temperature thing, the colors may not be quite as good. So
now, do LED fixtures, are there some out there that have basically a sunlight? Can they achieve that sunlight like you
Absolutely.
see some of the fluorescents, I think, that will advertise that?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's all that CRI number. It's all about how much actual, like how similar to sunlight they are. And if you look outside, generally the outdoor color with the sun's at 12 o'clock highest in the sky, it's about 5600 Kelvin, which is the color temperature.
Okay.
Normally a tungsten ellipsoidal will be anywhere between 3000 and 3500, somewhere in there. Most of them are around 3200. That's like the best, kind of the sweet spot they found that imitates a halogen. And then up in the higher ends, you're getting all the way up into 6400. These really cold LEDs. You'll see a lot of like the spotlight we had on Sunday night, that has a 6400 Kelvin LED, so it's very cold. But in there's a CTO adjustment, so you can actually adjust it to a warmer temperature with a dichrote inside, little color filter. So that allows you to reproduce those colors properly. One other thing, when you're looking out there right now in the industry, you're seeing a lot of this new LED creep up. It's a lime color LED. We talk about like RGB, WA, UV, those colors, right. But a lot of these new spots actually have lime in them now, and the reason they do that is to boost that CRI number, because it fills in a little hole in the spectrum that the green and the blue LEDs just can't quite get to. So imagine if you look at a rainbow and you've got a big spike at blue and a big spike at green, but there's a little valley right in between the two
right.
of them, and that lime boosts that valley, which causes the CRI to work. And actually it's neat because that's something called the photoptic curve. I know we've talked about that before, but that lime is like right on the photoptic curve, like right to boost it so that your eyes are used to it and it looks more like daylight. And I keep pointing over there because I can see sunlight right through there. So
that's out the door.
The Disc Jockey News Virtual Expo is sponsored by DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool. For more information, stop by djeventplanner.com. Top Hits USA, hit music service for radio and professional DJs. For more information, stop by tophitsusa.com. Epsilon Professional Lighting and Sound, an experienced and innovative manufacturer of lighting and sound equipment. For more information, stop by epsilon-pro.com. Promo Only, the industry's #1 source for music and music videos. For more information, stop by promoonly.com. By Omez Professional Lighting. New color, new vision, new Omez. For more information, stop by omezlighting.com. By Prime Cuts, the #1 service for music for mobile DJs. For more information, stop by Prime Cuts Music. Sponsored by Chauvet DJ. Value, innovation, performance. For more information, stop by chauvetlighting.com. Sponsored by Projectogram. High quality designs for monograms, logos, and other image projections. For more information, stop by projectogram.com. ADJ, Pure Lighting Excitement. For more information, stop by adj.com.
But yeah, so the lime is in there to boost CRI. Now, granted, a lot of companies out there, I'm not familiar with some of the stuff that came out at LDI. I still haven't looked it up yet, but I know that the ETC versions, those actually have a software that add the lime in to adjust that CRI, as opposed to having a channel for it, like red, green, blue, white, or whatever. They actually, it's in the software. You can't control that lime independently. It's all a correction that the internal software in the light makes. So you don't actually have a lime channel. It's there just to add in to make it have a higher CRI.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Interesting. One last thing, I want to ask one more question and we'll wrap things up. Back to the head table. You mentioned, of course, the bridesmaids in their dresses, wood in the flowers. Now, when the guys are basically in black and white, would the lighting be different? The lighting needs to be different for them compared to the dresses that are going to be a little bit more bold colored.
Yeah, I mean, you still want to have a good warm color temperature. Not so much for the black and white. I mean, they still will have, a lot of guys have vests that are the colors to match the brides, or like a complementary color for the wedding. But the key is the skin tones. When you're looking at pictures and faces, it's if you were to have like a really cold color temperature LED just hitting you in the face, you would look kind of sickly and like you hadn't eaten in a couple of days, or you saw a ghost, one of the two. But if you have a warm color temperature or a high CRI, your skin tones will look more natural and it will be a lot more realistic than with like a cold color temperature. So
very cool. Some good stuff there, Nick. Thank you very much. We are going to continue on with our virtual expo.